Alrighty, hi everyone. This is Bella Gorky. My anxiety and stress management plan for counseling 038. For my purpose in life, this is my baby picture on the left and my graduation picture from high school actually. On the right, my personal, I will continue to ask for help, say no, and listen to my stress playlist as self-care. My social and relational, I am committed to doing my best in school and at work, to keeping healthy and positive relationships, and being kind to others even if they are not kind to me. My career and vocational, I will continue to go to school to become a registered pediatric nurse. I will become an ENT over the summer and get a job as an ER technician while I am in school. I will continue to volunteer in my free time. My legacy, I want to be remembered as someone who took care of others and remained kind no matter what, because people have hard days. I want to be remembered as a great wife and mother to my future family and someone who put effort and time into her community. My strengths are first leadership, self-control, perspective taking, humor, social intelligence, respect, forgiving, or being forgiving, being grateful, inner balance, and capacity for friendship. I put a quote that says, "Sometimes we need someone to simply be there, not to fix anything or do anything in particular, but just to let us feel we are supported and cared about." My motivation poem, it's kind of odd, but it fits me. For M, maybe I'm anxious, but I love. Of all people, I can make it through. Through everything, I have family. I tell people I'm fine, but family knows the truth. Voices tell me I'm not enough, but I know I am. Acting like I'm perfect when I feel like shit and want to cry. Time slows when you hate yourself, but flies when you have people to count on. I keep hoping I'll get better, but I don't. On nights like that, I am held by him for support. Nothing can break me now. And it's a picture. On the bottom is me, my best friend, and my boyfriend, and on the top is some of my close family friends. My song playlist, these are songs that I listen to on a daily basis that help me feel better. First, Carry You Home by Alex Warren is my favorite song. Odds Are by Barenaked Ladies. Wait For It by Leslie Odom Jr. on Hamilton. Oh Death by Mercy Me. Dusty Bibles by Josiah Queen. Ain't No Doubt About It by Milo Manheim and Meg Donnelly. Stargazing by Miles Smith. Jealous by Nick Jonas. Burnin' Up by the Jonas Brothers. And Writings on the Wall by Role Model. And then the picture on the top is actually a screenshot of my favorite playlist to listen to, the album cover or the playlist cover. What I'm grateful for: myself, my work ethic and hard work, my resilience, my willingness to help others, my motivation, my loyalty, and my goals. People, my parents, my brother, my boyfriend, my best friend, and my grandparents. Those are all people that I am closest to and rely on for support. These specific moments in my life: graduating high school, getting my first job, starting college, and moving into my new house. I am grateful for my friends and family, my home, feeling loved, and having a support system. My friends and family are the biggest things in my life that I'm grateful for always. The bottom picture is actually a picture of my mom's side of the family from my high school graduation party. My joyless collage has some pictures of me and my best friend, my boyfriend, my mom, my aunt, my dog. I love Disneyland. I love Alex Warren. I love cows. I know it's weird, but I do. My situational trigger map, as you can see, I put screenshots of it, and I kind of explained that I found doing the situational trigger map did help me to identify different parts of the situation, of a situation, and how I specifically felt about each part of it, as well as helping me to come up with alternative ways of looking at the situation. Though I probably wouldn't choose to do this exercise outside of class, it was very helpful in guiding me through, like, that specific situation and learning how to get through certain situations and looking at it. Where I hold my stress, you can see that I put a picture of like one of the first assignments we did, which was the holding stress. My common physical symptoms are shortness of breath, lightheadedness, sweating and hot flashes, poor concentration, being jumpy, avoidance, difficulty speaking, hyperventilation, difficulty in reasoning, fear of losing control, feeling fearful, high heart rate, chest pain, shaking, restless legs, and squeezing fists. My common emotions are anxiety, fear, worry, nervousness, and frustration. My common cognitive thoughts: why won't it stop? And will they be mad if I say no? My behavioral is fight or flight mode. How I commonly react to acute and chronic stress and anxiety. My acute is when I get overwhelmed, I take a break and walk away. I get a snack and relax. I go back to what I was doing and I can finish it and then spend time with friends and family. My chronic is I'm failing my classes. I go to tutoring. I go to therapy for help. I study better for exams after getting help, and I get better grades, and I'm less stressed. My current stressors, triggers, and symptoms, I put my anxiety bucket. My stressors: school, work, money, relationships, fitting in, my body and how I view it, and my health. For school, the type of stressor is environmental and situational. For work, it's environmental, money, financial, and anticipatory stress. For my relationships, environmental and daily hassles and frustration. Fitting in, environmental and pressure. My body is pressure. Health is pressure and major life events. And then some symptoms for school: anxiety, panic attacks, and tension. For work, tension, anxiety, and frustration. Money is anxiety, frustration, and panic. Relationships: anxiety, tension, frustration, and sadness. Fitting in, feeling scared, frustrated, and anxious. My body: frustrated, mad, sad, and tired. Health: anxiety, tension, feeling scared, and panic. My anxiety friend, this is my friend Lorraine. When she is near, I hear her crying and saying, I can't do it. My 3 adaptive strategies and self-reflection questions. First strategy: define terms. First question: what does it mean when I call myself stupid? Second strategy: cost and benefit analysis. Question: does the bad outweigh the good? Strategy number 3: double standard. Question: what would I tell my best friend in this situation? You can see my anxiety friend is a triangle. I love Lorraine. How I plan to handle my stress and or anxiety. The most helpful technique I learned in this class is adaptive thinking strategies. The most beneficial relaxation exercise I used is my stress playlist. And the best time and place for me to practice relaxation exercises is at home in my room in the afternoon. And then category meaning and emotion focused. For my current coping skills, I put listening to my stress playlist and using humor. And the new coping skills, I said saying no and the butterfly hug. For problem focus, the coping skills currently are asking for help. And the new coping skills are setting clear boundaries, therapy, and meditation. Distraction focused, my current coping is reading, and new coping is making puzzles and cleaning. Social support focused is currently playing with pets, and my new ones are spending time with friends and family. My top 50 coping strategies are nature walk, stress playlist, coloring, puzzles, humor, laughing, massage, baking, cooking, belly breathing, playing with pets, spending time with friends, spending time with family, vision board, timers, setting clear boundaries, saying no, dancing, reading, crying, shopping, praying, squeezing a stress ball, swimming, doing my nails, drinking water, volunteering, planning my week, decorating my room, building Legos, the worry tree, making a to-do list, playing a game, making time for myself, stretching, taking a shower, therapy, adaptive thinking strategies, having a safe and trusting relationship, having a physically and emotionally safe environment, a good night's sleep, painting, meditation, laughter yoga, eating a sour candy, positive affirmation mantras, digital alarms, weighted blanket, smiling, and positive reward system. For my mindfulness log, for the month of February, examples of mindfulness activities I did were doing the nature walk and mindfulness breathing. I attempted 54 out of 54 activities, and I think for the month of February, I need to work on having a better and actually having a morning routine. For March, my mindfulness activities were meditation and reading. I attempted 62 out of 62 activities. I think I need to work on doing 2 different activities each day instead of doing one both times. And for the month of April, my activities, listening to my stress playlist and mindfulness breathing, I attempted 60 out of 60 activities. I think I need to work on picking new activities to try. 10 mindfulness and self-care exercises I rated as a 4 or 5 this semester are reading, organizing, taking a nature walk, listening to my stress playlist, 4-7-8 breathing, yoga, cleaning, coloring, doing a puzzle, and taking a shower. My sleep data for the month of February, my average hours per night was 8.83 hours. My average perceived stress scale score was 17.54, which is moderate. For the month of March, my sleep hours average was 8.63 hours. My average perceived stress scale score is 18.83, which is also moderate. For April, my average hours slept was 9.31 hours, and my perceived stress scale score was 18.13, which is also moderate. So those 3 months were all in the moderate range for my scores. And then some positive changes I made to help with my sleep include putting my phone down 2 hours before bed, going to bed earlier, and setting a morning alarm for the same time every day to have a routine. My happiness assessment, I put my scores here. I'm not really gonna go into depth on explaining, scores. You can visually see it. My strategies I will use to create happiness. Stop putting others before myself. Stop trying to make everyone happy. Stop only thinking the worst and saying no. My boundaries, my boundaries quiz results was a score of 15 out of 42. My range quote was, "Your limits need attention and definition right away." 3 things that I will work on that were outside my circle are cleaning up after others, talking in front of people, and being yelled at. I will work on not letting people yell at me, work on, public speaking. I'm actually taking a public speaking class this semester, which really helped with that. And I will not clean up after others. And then I also put, at the bottom of that worksheet, it had us put one thing we can say no today is, and I put feeling guilty when I say no. And then I put a quote for boundaries, says boundaries. I allow myself to set boundaries, to say no to what does not align with my values, to say yes to what does. Boundaries assist me to remain healthy, honest, and living a life that is true to me. Backups to help me stick to my boundaries. My promises to myself are people may not disrespect me. I have the right to ask for help. And to protect my time and energy, it is okay to say no. On-call help, my friends. I put my best friend and my boyfriend. For my mentor, I put my mom. For my helping team, I put my therapist, Shauna. For coworkers, I put my boss, Arisha, because I am actually really close with her. And then the crisis line, I just put the phone number 888-411-4953. And then for my personal power sources for problem focused, I put listening to my stress playlist, meaning focused is humor, emotion focused is crying, grounding is using a weighted blanket, social support is asking for help, distraction is a nature walk, and spiritual is praying. My personal goal or habit loop, I put walking for 10 minutes a day, and then you forget. If you forget, you get lazy. And I put Garfield for that because I just thought that was very fitting. My SMART plan for this goal. My personal goal was to take a 10-minute walk every day. I measured this by timing my daily walks. It was difficult, but I reached and met this goal by May 18th. Positive rewards for this goal. My outcome, I was able to break this habit loop in 21 days. Future implications, I will increase my stamina and better my physical and mental health. What I learned from the 21-day challenge, I learned 1, to make my goals realistic and something I can accomplish. 2, to set a good and realistic goal, I need to use the SMART method. 3, to accomplish a goal, I need motivation or to have a reason or reward to push me. Number 4, it is hard to break and or create a habit loop. An effective therapy that I am open to, one type of therapy I am open to using is cognitive behavioral therapy or CBT. Why? Because I often struggle with identifying why I think, feel, and act the way I do, and by using CBT or cognitive behavioral therapy, it helped me to identify and correct or better those things. 3 questions I would ask a new therapist to build trust are: 1, what are the most common issues you work on with your patients? 2, what type of therapy do you use the most often with your patients? And 3, how would you react if I did something you didn't approve of or like? Takeaways and summary of my action plan. Takeaways I've learned from this class are, even if you think it isn't a coping strategy, it probably is. I've learned that throughout this class that, we've used so many different exercises that I didn't think were actually coping strategies, but they are. 2, using mindfulness exercises weekly. 3, stress and anxiety are not bad. 4, music is your best friend, or at least my best friend. 5, trying something, even if it seems silly, it might help. My summary of my action plan is: recognize and use my strengths to my advantage. Remember who and what I am grateful for. Use my coping strategies. Work on using the SMART method to set goals and set clear boundaries to protect your energy and happiness. Anyways, that's my management plan. Thanks for listening.